Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com, and we're going to take a look at stocks in the marijuana sector in this video. So all the stocks in this video are in the marijuana sector. These are over-the-counter stocks, so none of these stocks trade on the big boards. But the sector has been reversing over the course of the last 12 months. The marijuana sector has actually outperformed the S&P 500. It has pulled back from the highs. It found support. And now a lot of stocks are reversing and they're starting new uptrends. Okay, so first up, let's look at PURA. I'm just going to go through these quickly. RSI at 65, Fasto at 100. It closed at high of day, right at the 200-day simple moving average at 0.0330. That is the top moving average on this chart. It also closed above the 100-day simple moving average and the 300-day simple moving average at 0.0311. So the big for this chart, if it can turn that 200-day simple moving average into support and stay above 0.033, it could continue this new uptrend and make a run up here to this 4.7 level. It's got a nice uptrend going. The candles are forming above the 50-day simple moving average, above the middle Bollinger Band. There was a big volume spike today. You'd like to see these levels turn into support. If the candles do pull back, as long as the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-day simple moving average holds, there'll be more upside potential. If it can turn this 100, 200, and 300-day simple moving average level into support, that's going to be very bullish, and this could continue running much higher. So keep an eye on PURA. Big, nice volume spike behind the move. Okay, let's look at MCIG. Okay, this is a stock that had a really nice move. It's pulled back, and now it's below 70 on RSI and below 80 on Fasto, so it corrected. Now there's a little more juice in the tank. And so after this nice multi-day run, it had pulled back yesterday. The candles worked back into the bands, and then today there was loading off of EMA 8 at 0.24. That's the key level to hold right now. What you want to see is the candles get back above EMA 4 at 0.25 and continue heading higher. The closing price here on the 18th is the key level to break. If it can get above that, then you could see a run higher, possibly back up here to 34. So this has a really nice uptrend going. If it pulls back below EMA 8, the key level to hold is going to be this 100 and 200-day simple moving average zone. You want to see it stay above 23. This is a nice uptrend. This looks like it was just a pause. You want to see a bullish volume spike and a push through resistance. Okay, let's look at CNBX. Okay, this stock had performed really well this week, and then it pulled back. It performed really well last week, and continued this week, and then it pulled back, and now what we're looking for is a strong close tomorrow. So the key on this chart is, and this is a weekly chart, it's not a daily chart. Each candle represents 1 week of trading, and so we want to see this RSI above 50. That would really get the chart going. If you look back here, last time it broke above 50 after trading below, look how a giant run followed. So that's what we're looking for here. Is the next big run to happen. If you look here, we want to see Fasto get back above 50. Notice it's above 20. You want to see a bullish crossover here. You want to see plus DI cross ADX to the upside. And so the bullish development this week, and what we talked about last week that we wanted to see, was a close above this 50-week moving average at 1.11. And so that's happening so far this week. As long as it stays above 111, that's going to be a really bullish signal. Notice that for the last couple months, it's closed below the 50-week moving average. So it closed back above, signaling more upside. Notice how it's hitting against this descending resistance line. A close above that level would be really bullish as well. And then the upper wick on this week's candle hit the middle Bollinger Band at 164. And so you want to see a close back above that level to signal the start of a new uptrend. So this chart has been heating back up. Keep an eye on it. Volume has been picking up. That's always good to see. Notice back here when the chart heated up with the close above the 50-week moving average. Notice how the candles were below the 50-week moving average. There was a close above. RSI broke 50, Fasto broke 50, and that signaled the start of the run. And so now you have a similar setup here where the candles were below the 50. Now you have a close above. You have volume picking up. You have RSI breaking 50. So we're going to see if it can get a new uptrend going. Okay, let's look at CBIS. Okay, this is a classic medical marijuana company, and what we're looking for here is a break above 50 on RSI. Fasto is at 54, so it's got a lot of juice to run. Starting a bullish crossover here on ADX with plus DI crossing minus DI to the upside. Okay, so this chart, you know, the good thing about this chart is a lot of the tickers have already ran. You know, they're already at the 50, they're already above, you know, hitting the 100, possibly above, maybe hitting the 200 or the 300. When stocks are hitting those levels, that means the run has already started. Well, this right here has not started running yet. Okay, it's in the process of trying to turn the middle Bollinger Band into support. Notice back here on the second day of July, it closed above, fell to hold, and pulled back down. Okay, if you look back here in May, closed above the middle Bollinger Band, which is the dotted purple line currently at 0.051, failed to hold and pulled back. And so, you know, yesterday it closed above the middle Bollinger Band, failed to hold, and pulled back below today. There's the long upper wick, right? And look at the volume bars, very low volume. Check out the declining volume pattern. What we want to see now is a bullish volume spike and a break above resistance. We want to see multiple white candles above the middle Bollinger Band, signaling that that level is turning into support. Notice how tight the Bollinger Bands are. The lower Bollinger Bands at 0.048 and the upper Bollinger Bands at 0.053. The break above either the upper Bollinger Band would signal a breakout higher, and then you'd want to break above the 50-day simple moving average at 0.056. Or if it broke below the lower Bollinger Band, that would signal a breakdown. So this is set up. The chart's wound really tight. It's getting ready to go. Notice the long lower wick on the 17th, accompanied by the volume spike. This is what we call the load. This was players, you know, traders loading for the next run. And so it looks like this is getting ready to go. Keep an eye on it. You know, there was a PSAR bull flip. You've got MACD just crossed over down here on the 8, 13, and 5. So CBIS looks like it's getting ready to go. Now take a look at SGBY. This was a stock that ran well, and then it pulled back. It cooled down just a little bit today. Now RSI is at 63. You've got Fasto back down at 67, so they both have room to run. A recent bull cross here. So this was a nice 2-day move for SGBY, and then it hit the 200-day simple moving average today and pulled back. That was a climax at 0.021. That's going to be the key level to break. When you have a multi-day run, multiple white candles in a row, and then you have a pullback from a key resistance level like the 200-day simple moving average and a long upper wick forms, you know, that's a signal that traders are taking profits. Notice the increasing volume pattern, and then there's a giant volume spike today. So that was a signal that you know, people were locking it in today. And so what we want to see now is we want to see the 100-day simple moving average hold at 18. That's going to be the big support level. Notice the last two candles have closed above the upper Bollinger Band. So if there's a break below the 18 and the 100, you could see a drop down here to the 300-day simple moving average at 16 and the 50-day simple moving average at 15. So 15 should hold. This should be strong support. This is the start of a new uptrend. If the uptrend is going to continue, these levels should hold. It would be best if the 100-day simple moving average held and then there was a break above the 200-day simple moving average. We want to see a close above that level. If that happens, then that would put this resistance level at 0.024 on deck, and then you could possibly see a run back up to the 3s. So this chart has been heating up with the MACD bullish crossovers. The annotations on this chart are old. It's from the last time that we showed this chart. Okay, so let's check out MCOA. This is another one that ran well for us and then cooled down. The RSI is now below 70. You've got a correction here on Fasto, so at 64 now there's room to run. So this had been on this really epic multi-day run, and then once again today, notice the same thing happened. It hit the 200-day simple moving average, and that was the climax. It was the climax of the multi-day run. So take note, you know, it usually pays to lock in gains when the 200-day simple moving average gets hit if it's the top level on the chart. You know, sometimes the 300's just above, and they'll run to that level. But when you have the moving averages stacked up like this, and it's a multi-day run, it's usually the top moving average signals the climax. And so on this chart, it's the 200-day simple moving average. So, you know, more times than not, if you lock in gains at that level, you're able to reload on the pullback. It's just good habit. Now going forward, a close above, candles forming above the 200-day simple moving average signal more upside potential. You could easily see a run up here to 6 to this prior level, and then, you know, this could keep retracing, you know, back up to this 10 level. That's what it looks like is happening here. here, you had the really tight Bollinger Bands. Now remember the setup here on CBIS. Okay, notice how there's the real long pullback, tight Bollinger Bands at the bottom. Now look at this chart here. So you've got the same thing, the long pullback, tight Bollinger Bands. Notice how the same thing, and notice how they turned the middle Bollinger Band into support, then it broke out. This is what we're looking for CBIS. Well, when we talk about finding the next play, the thing about stocks is the patterns never change. Only the ticker symbols. So we're always looking for the same patterns that deliver good results. And so here we go. We're looking for a reload now, possibly off of the 100-day simple moving average. If it holds, you see here today, people were loading off that level. You can tell by the lower wick, and they were loading off the 300-day simple moving average at 0.034. Those are the reload levels if they hold. If they fail to hold and there's a close below, then you could see a big drop back down here to test this 3 level. Now going forward, if it pushes above that 200-day simple moving average, that's going to signal a breakout higher. Okay, let's look at SRNA. Okay, this stock is in the 50 to 70 bull zone at 62, so there is room to run. You've got Fasto back above 80. Okay, and so on this chart, this is another one that's pushing up against resistance. Notice how it's trying to turn this blue line into support. That's a 300-day simple moving average. It closed back above that level today, and now what we want to see is a close above the 100-day simple moving average at 15. That's currently a major resistance level on this chart. If it can close above that, then it could run back up here to the 17 level where the 200-day moving average is. And that's the top level. It should, if this uptrend continues, it should be able to get to that level. Notice how there was this descending resistance, and then here in July, the first trading day of July, there was a close above that level, and then notice how that signaled the uptrend. Okay, notice how descending resistance. So this conjunction here, where you have the resistance and support crossing, and the candles forming above, that they call that the T spot. That's a key level that signals more upside potential. So you want to see this 50-day simple moving average hold in the middle Bollinger Band. As long as they hold, the uptrend should continue. Okay, let's take a look at MYDX. Okay, some of you may not be familiar with this stock, but it's been a future or historical big runner. So when stocks in a sector have had a history of making big runs, you want to keep an eye on them when the sector heats back up, because many times history repeats. And so for this stock, we're looking for RSI to get back above 50. Fasto is pushing up here to 80. So you want to see the green line plus DI get above the red and the black line minus DI and ADX. That's a signal that the chart would be heating back up. Now this is similar to CBIS. This is a stock that has not run yet. Okay, notice it's in a big downtrend. Notice today there was a close above the middle Bollinger Band. Notice the close above the dotted line. The middle Bollinger Band is at 0.0051. That is a signal that this chart could be heating up. Now we need to see another close above that level. Look back here in May. That was the last time that this stock had closed above the middle Bollinger Band. The following day, a red candle formed. It failed to hold that level. It closed again here, but it just couldn't turn it into support, and a big downtrend continued. So what we're looking for now is a bullish change in trend. Notice this red descending resistance line. If it can close above the middle Bollinger Band again and above that red descending resistance line, then this could run up here to the 50-day simple moving average. Those are some nice percentage gains between 5.2 and 7.3. So this one's got a lot of upside potential if it can turn that middle Bollinger Band into support. So keep an eye on it. Like I said, it has a history of running. Okay, check out CBDS, CBDs, right? The big word in the industry. They got the ticker symbol everybody would like to have. If you check out here, we've got RSI just cruising at 51. It's been holding that 50 level. The volume is really low. We need to see the volume pick up here. This is trading at a higher dollar level. It's at 63 here on Fasto. The interesting thing about this chart is it's wound really tight right now. If you notice here, there's a descending resistance line and ascending support, and today's candle is at a flex point. Tomorrow, either this descending resistance line or this ascending support line are likely to break. If there's a break above the red line, that's going to signal potential move higher. You want to see a break above the 50-day simple moving average at 472. That could signal a run up here to the 100 and 200-day simple moving averages. If it breaks below the green line and the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 447, you could see a drop down to the lower Bollinger Band down here at 407. Notice that the 300-day simple moving average is support as well at 444. So this is a major support level. The chart's wound tight. It looks like it's setting up for a potential move higher. Keep an eye on CBDS. Okay, check out MSRT. Okay, they already have 1 million subscribers to their website. Okay, this is a stock that's hitting the technology angle of the marijuana sector, and so they have RSI here at 52, lots of room to run. Fasto at 59, lots of room to run. You've got this convergence here. You got this flex point where you've got the plus DI, minus DI, and ADX all at the same level. You know, it's gonna. This is signaling that the stock is at a point where a change in direction is going to happen. We're going to get some sort of trend change. It's been consolidating here sideways. Okay, it's been trying to turn this 50-day simple moving average into support at 0.55, and so we want to see that level hold. You know, it closed above, pulled back, closed above again, and then it held that level. Okay, so it's holding. That's exactly what you want to see. Now we want to see it close above high close horizontal resistance at 61. Okay, if it can close above 61, then you're talking about a run up to the 100-day simple moving average at 68. This should eventually make it back up here to the 200 and 300-day simple moving averages at 75 and 77, as long as this middle Bollinger Band holds. So far, the chart looks strong. You know, the uptrend started back here on the close above the middle Bollinger Band. Notice there was a double bottom here, and then yeah, I just kind of covered up the gap, but yeah, it can't. There was a mini little gap here, and this lower wick came down and filled the gap. So this is performing really well. You know, it broke out up here. Notice there was a gap. You know, the next candle filled the gap. You know, came down, filled this gap, came up. It's holding support. It's making higher highs and higher lows. You know, it really needs to make another a higher high here to push to that next level. Okay, let's check out KAYS. Okay, I believe they're the dispensary owners up in Oregon, opening up multiple dispensaries. And here we've got RSI at 55. You've got Fasto up here at 77. So at 55 on RSI, there's plenty of room to run. This is another chart that's setting up. Notice how it's similar to CBIS. And you know, it's got that similar look to MYDX. How the chart is in the process of turning key level into support. How it's just getting going, possibly. Okay, so there was a close above the middle Bollinger Band here. Okay, that was a signal the chart was heating up. Now it's been able to close above the 300-day simple moving average at 16 here, basically. Okay, it's been holding that level for multiple days. For 4 days in a row, it's closed above the 300-day simple moving average. We call that turning that level into support. Notice there's the higher low. It did form a red candle today, but this is more of like a pause candle. Notice how you've got really light volume today. Okay, once again, you've got that declining volume pattern down here. Okay, so now we're looking for a bullish volume spike and a break above the 50-day simple moving average. We'll call it at 17. If that happens, then you're talking about a run up here to the, once again, the 200 and 100 and 200-day simple moving averages. Okay, so those are the top moving averages. For all these charts that we're showing that have, you know, a lot of these have similar patterns because of the program trading. When trading firms use the computers, the machines, to do their trading, you get a lot of these charts in the sectors that look very similar. And so what's going to happen is these stocks, many of them are just going to follow the same pattern, how they've broken the middle Bollinger Band, they broke the 50, and then they're going to run up to the 200 where they'll likely hit resistance, and then they'll pull back, and then it's going to be all about breaking above the top resistance, the simple moving average resistance level, and then turning that into support. When that happens, then you can really see stocks making big moves higher. So right now we've got these dead cat bounces. We've got these bounces and these runs back up to the moving averages, but now we need to turn those into support, and then that's going to signal that the sector is healthy again, and that there's sustainable uptrends. Okay, so it's been working on it, but it's going to be all about, for all these stocks that are hitting these key resistance levels, getting above the top moving average. How can you figure out what's the top moving average? Well, you look over here on the chart, and you can see that we've got EMA 4, EMA 8, EMA 13, the 50, the 100, the 200, and the 300-day simple moving averages. The middle Bollinger Band here is also the 20-day simple moving average. So you've got all these moving averages here. And so for this one, the top moving average is up here at the 200-day simple moving average at 17.2. And so once MYHI, which this is another one that's been an incredible runner in the past, Okay, so you always, when the big runners like this, you want to be sure you keep track of them when the sectors gets hot again, because many times they perform well again. And so you've got the declining volume down here, volume pattern. We're looking for a volume spike. It's holding the 50-day and 300 and middle Bollinger Band here. Notice how we use the same colors for the moving averages. So all my charts are easy to read, where you always know that the blue line is the 300. You know that the green line is the 50. Every time you don't have to look to check, because I use the same colors for the moving averages. It makes for analyzing the charts. You can do it very fast. And so here we're looking for a break above this descending resistance line. We want to see a break above 14.5, above high close resistance here, this 14 to 14.5 zone, and then you could see a run back up here to 17.2. If they can get above the 200-day simple moving average, it could really get running. So keep an eye on MYHI. Keep an eye on the marijuana sector. If you want to stay up to date on the latest plays, please come check us out at our chat. We're posting lots of information that doesn't make it out anywhere else all throughout the day. You can go in the chat and you can scroll back and you can read all the information. I recommend for people that are on our website to do that on a daily basis. That's the way you're going to get all of your alerts. It's very, very easy to do. You just scroll back. There's you can see all the action from today. It's gonna be well worth it. So please check it out, and check out our YouTube channel on mychartcoach.com. Okay, thank you very much.